But let's stick with the Patriots theme because it has now been announced, as it was reported in one of the many leaks. And I got the impression, I poked around some yesterday, Chris, because the NFL gets so snippy about tipping draft picks. Don't tip draft picks. They get the word out to the broadcast partners. Tell your people, don't tip draft picks. And as I say every year, they're lucky that, or maybe I'm lucky that my audience doesn't want it, because the fact that you're telling me not to do it is going to make me want to do it even more. And I poked around yesterday to see if there was any consternation or blowback or frustration from the league over the fact that all these games were being leaked. And I didn't get the impression they're upset. And what it has done is kind of organically taken over the full week. So one of the many leaks that came out was that the Patriots will be visiting the Seahawks for the first game of the season, Wednesday, September 9, in Seattle, when the Seahawks hang the banner. And yes, that is the game that will be played. And I've been trying to think of ways, and it's not time to break down the whole game, and who the hell knows where these teams are going to be by the time September rolls around, but can you make any argument that a different outcome is possible than 29-13 and 29-13 seemed a lot closer than the game felt?
Yeah, that's the question, right? I mean, I've been on record here kind of saying a little bit of like, hey, I don't know, not sure I want to see this game week one, you know? And again, I mean, of course, I'm going to be locked in. It's the two best teams in each conference last year back again. So, yeah, there is that part of it. I was surprised, too, that the league wanted to go there with the New England Patriots to start the year. And the stuff we were just talking about between Mike Vrabel and Versini. I mean, I would think that you might have to make comments about that in the pregame show now and be there to explain to the football fan that just tunes in every now and then for games to kind of explain that story and all of that. So that's where I was a little surprised, definitely. And yeah, the game itself, the Super Bowl, was not well received. So my other thing, too, thinking about this, right, Mike, is just that, what's going to be different this time? And one of my thoughts when I first heard it, and then, just thinking about it over the last 24 hours, is I don't think they would do this unless they knew that A.J. Brown was going to the New England Patriots. There's definitely a part of me there that goes, that's where they think it can be different, and that's where it'll be a bigger story and a different outlook to be like, hey, Drake May was hurt a little bit in the Super Bowl, and we have A.J. Brown now. That's where this game can be a little different. And so that's what's exciting. And then hopefully that happens. I think we all think and kind of know that is going to happen. And this, to me, is just another little like checking the box of confirmation that, yeah, the league knows it's going to happen, and that's part of the story and why they're going to be there Wednesday night, to start the season with you and doing all that. So that is cool, and I'm excited for that and to see what A.J. Brown can bring to the New England Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it this way. The Seahawks don't have Kenneth Walker III, who was the MVP of Super Bowl 60. Mm-hmm. Zach Charbonnet is quite possibly not going to be available for that game because he suffered his torn ACL in the divisional round against the 49ers in January. And he's a running back, and that's not an easy turnaround.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson went from Christmas Eve and amazed everyone by being ready to go week one the following season against the Jaguars. This is even later. This was multiple weeks later than Christmas Eve, and to be ready to go week one is a tall task. And
they got Jadarian Price though, and that's why they took him.
I know, but
yeah, and I would.
But there's an element of who knows, right? I'm not saying he's definitely going to be worse. I'm not saying he's going to be better. I'm not saying he's going to be as good. There's an element of uncertainty that would draw someone in. They don't have the Super Bowl MVP, and they're rolling the dice most likely with a guy who's never played in the NFL before.
Yeah.
That gives it an element of maybe the outcome this time will be different. Maybe the running game won't be as potent. Maybe there'll be more pressure on Sam Darnold, and maybe the Patriots have a better chance. A.J. Brown, that's an excellent call because they're never going to come out and say that they already have a deal in place. That defeats the purpose. Now, maybe it'll leak at some point, but it's being talked about so openly. They have a deal in place. I believe, I don't know, no one's told me, but I think when you look at everything that's gone on and all the other options that the Eagles have or don't have for an A.J. Brown destination, They already have a deal
Yeah.
in place.
I've been
They're
led
allowed
to
to have a
believe
deal
that.
in place,
Yeah.
and they don't have to tell us they have a deal
Right.
in place. They
Right.
have no requirement to announce they have a deal in place. And look what happens when you announce you have a deal in place. It all blows up when the physical is failed. There was reference to that in the Chargers release video at one point with a screenshot of the modified tweet that the Raiders posted the night that the Ravens backed out of the trade because of the failed physical. So in the event that there is a failed physical, you don't have to worry about anybody looking bad. What trade? What trade? What trade? There's no trade.
Yeah.
So I think that, and look, I'm not saying all this to try to sell the game 17 weeks in advance. You're going to tune into the game. It's going to have a huge viewership. And, it was either Patriots Seahawks or Bears Seahawks. I think that's probably what it whittled down to, although Chargers Seahawks was a possibility. Cardinals Seahawks was the only other shot, and I don't think that anybody wanted to see that, especially Cardinals fans, to start the season. So, it's a Super Bowl rematch. It's only the third time ever. The last one was 10 years ago, Panthers-Broncos. The first one was 1971 after the Chiefs beat the Vikings in Super Bowl IV in New Orleans at Tulane Stadium. The Vikings got their revenge. Doesn't count as revenge.
No, it doesn't.
It's not revenge.
No.
It's only revenge if you get if you get to take their Super Bowl trophy, then it's revenge.
Yeah, exactly right. I didn't know that. So that was a good little tidbit right there. But yeah, it's a one. I think you said it. I mean, the Seahawks are that's the interesting thing about the game, right? The game is gonna maybe mean more or be a little more chippy to the New England Patriots. So that's certainly another element too. They're going to be like maybe a little bit more focused, bulletin board material, Super Bowl, all that. So there's that element. There's a lot of human elements there. Like you said, the Jadarian Price thing's going to be a big question. He's got big playability, and I would think, and if you made me bet, I'd bet he kind of hits the ground running as kind of damn good there in Seattle right away. But for the most part, that Seahawks team is pretty much the same. We know that. And some of their young players are going to be a year older and maybe even a little bit better that way. And then the other element, too, is to go, hey, yeah, the Patriots can go, hey, Drake May was hurt. We didn't play our best game. Now we got A.J. Brown. We're a different team. The Seahawks will be able to go, well, but now you're coming to Seattle. And I can tell you firsthand, I've been to Seattle for a season opener, and it was the loudest stadium I was ever in my life. I mean, ever. It would beat the 12th man at Texas A&M or any of that, and that's why they adopted it. But that is going to be a different element for the Patriots, too. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks, we know the home field advantage they have. Then you couple that with a little extra energy of opening night, first game of the season, unveiling the banner for the Super Bowl. Ooh, that's going to be a whole nother thing, too. The emotions of the football game. And, of course, New England dealing with unbelievable crowd noise that will probably be the loudest they hear or have to deal with all year. So those are other interesting elements to me that can change the dynamic of the game a little bit.
And you are right. The issue of the offseason will have to be dealt with. I don't know if I'll be dealing with it in the pregame show.
Oh, you better be. You better
point.
be. Yeah, I'm going to be on there. I'm going to be on. If you don't do something, I'm going to get on you all on social media. How dare you? Buck, 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 chicken, chicken, chicken. I'm just having fun, but I probably will get on you.
Yeah. You assume that we have the freedom to say whatever the hell we want to say.
Yeah, very true.
On Football Night in America and on the pregame show, we say what they let us say and or tell us to say, and we'll see what they tell me to say about Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini. And look, this underscores something I said earlier in the week. We now have it framed out. We know when the Patriots next play their game that counts. Wednesday, September 9. Memorial Day is coming. Summertime, is that really the time to have some elaborate sit-down interview that could go viral and create all sorts of issues depending upon what's said about her side of the story? That night before the game is just screaming out now. If there's going to be a sit-down, if there's going to be one. I said something on the show at some point. It's amazing what gets picked up and run with and what doesn't. But I pointed out that if there's any possibility of a settlement agreement, if there's any potential legal claims that could be made, if there's anything, and we don't know what allegations or facts, or we don't know how any of this would go, but if there's some sort of a deal that entails a confidentiality agreement, that is the one way that the whole process of a sit-down could be short-circuited, that there could be an amount of money paid in exchange for an agreement to stay silent. Without that, Tuesday, September 8th, with Oprah Winfrey, Morley Safer, Joe Rogan, I don't know, an exclusive sit-down with someone where the whole story is told from her perspective, one night before the Patriots start the season in Seattle.
Damn, you're putting the Malocchio on the Patriots and the NFL.
Won't surprise
there. You, go ahead, just put it out. Show them. Do it. Go ahead. Do it.
It's not a Malocchio. It's analysis. It's not a Malocchio. You don't want me to. Do you really want me to take?
Well,
do you want me to? Do you want?
Don't point it towards me.
Hey,
wait. Watch where you put that thing. Hey, damn it.
And it clearly would have the power to work its way through the cable wires and all the way to Connecticut, because as we proved in late April, I have the ability to reach my hand through the cables and muzzle Chris and prevent him from saying
staying on target.
To make a comment about this situation.
Exactly.
Just with the word "stay on target," it put a spell on Chris, Harry Potter style, and it kept him from speaking. It's just an amazing thing. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.